Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do Demon Slayer online gameplay with Zenitsu. So real quick, for every 50 subscribers this channel gets, I'm going to do a $50 giveaway to one lucky subscriber, either through PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo, until we'll reach our goal of 2,000 subscribers. And if you have your own YouTube channel, I will subscribe to your channel as well. I think all YouTube creators should subscribe to one another's channels to help each other's channel grow. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so and hit the like button down below. Don't forget to check out the community page to see the latest image poll. I also have a new playlist called Announcements, so you can stay informed with everything you need to know about this channel, upcoming events, raffles, and giveaway. And if you really want to support this channel, any donation, big or small, will help the channel grow. Just send me a text message saying donations to my cell phone number at 862-405-2191, and I will send you the link to my Cash App or PayPal. It's the same number to enter into the raffles. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Alright, here we go. Let's get ready for the next fight. So, Zenitsu's story, right? Let's get into his history. This should be a good fight. At least he doesn't like to disconnect a lot. And I will keep saying this. I love the fact that this game shows how many times people rage quit by disconnecting. And it shows on the little record. I wish all fighting games do that. I think that's awesome to see how many people just quit while you're in the middle of a match. Bro, if you lose, you lose. It's normal. That's why mine's always going to stay at 0, because I am never going to disconnect. I love the fact that they have this in this game. And trust me, I have lost plenty of times. I have. Especially when I was trying to learn how to play with the character and test out his skills. But it's normal, man. You lose, you lose. You don't got to rage quit. You never know how you'll make a crazy comeback, which I have. Like, a lot of my matches always go to the 5th round, man. But anyways. Let's get into Zenitsu's story. Zenitsu was not raised by his parents, so he did not have any proper guidance. When he was young, Zenitsu fell in love with a girl and decided to give her money to appeal to her. However, the girl ended up running away with another guy, leaving Zenitsu drowning in debt. Now, that's fucked up. Man, she used him. I mean, not that you need to, buy a woman's love, or I guess if they were both kids, a girl's love. But I don't think he was just trying to, well, no, he was. But I'm talking about other people in general. Getting someone a gift to show them you appreciate them, it's cool. But trying to buy them like he did, and I think that's what happened. It said it right there. He tried to give her money to appeal to her. Like, that's stupid, bro. So any guy listening to this, don't do that. It's okay to show affection and get them stuff once in a while, but don't try to buy their love, because then they're just going to use you. And the worst case scenario, which happened to him, was that she ran away with another guy, leaving his ass in debt. And believe it or not, that happens a lot. So don't let that be you. That's my point. So, seeing that he was in financial trouble with debt collectors, Jigoro Kuwahima paid off his debt for Zenitsu and decided to train him as a swordsman. Zenitsu began to refer as Jigoro as Gramps, and began to train alongside Gramps and other disciples. One day he was training Zenitsu and climbed up a tree out of fear that he was being trained to death as he began to panic. A stroke of lightning hit him, causing his hair to turn blonde. Right, so we knew his hair wasn't blonde. It was the cause of lightning, which is crazy. It's an anime, obviously, but whatever. Alright, so let's go. Zenitsu and Kaigaku. I'm sorry if I said this guy's name wrong, but he was the other disciples. Hated each other. However, Zenitsu will respect him as his senior and his strong ambition. Zenitsu wished he could fight alongside Kaigaku as equals one day and develop his own 7th form, the Hanu Kazuchi no Kami. Yeah, I'm having trouble saying these names. So let's get into the final selection arc, right? This is the first time when we see Zenitsu. So it says here, Zenitsu is first seen at the beginning of the final selection in Mount Fuji Kazani. After the final selection, Zenitsu is among the 4 people who have passed. Zenitsu is seen talking to himself, fearing he will die one day. I think the line that I forgot one line he said in the anime, but I thought it was true. Like, like, oh my god, I gotta rewatch that. It was a real powerful line to me. Like, they were all gonna die eventually. With like he said, he was talking shit about that his job as a demon slayer is like a hazardous job, and he made me fucking laugh. But I don't remember the exact words. I gotta look it up. All right, so let me see here what it says here. Okay, after the final selection, Zenitsu is among the 4 people who have passed. Zenitsu is seen talking to himself, fearing he will one day each one receive a will die one day. Yeah, each one received a Kaguzugi crow except Zenitsu, who got a sparrow. All 4 are told to choose where they want their swords to be made out of. Right, that's when they had to pick the 4 stones. Got it. So now it's going to the Tsuzuzami mansion arc. Zenitsu is being begged by a random girl to marry him. So this is the opposite, because normally he's the one begging girls. So this is the opposite. Tanjiro Kamado stops Zenitsu and excuses the girl. Zenitsu explains that he must get married before his next mission because he might die. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, I think it was after that arc. I'm sorry. I think this is what I was talking about. Okay, he must get married before his next mission because he might die. He asks Tanjiro to protect him until he gets married. Tanjiro asks him why he became a demon slayer. And Zenitsu got swindled by a woman and racked up debt. And the old man paid it off his debt, and he trained him. Zenitsu and Tanjiro arrive to the drum house. Later on, the first 2 share a rice ball as they travel on the south of their next mission. Zenitsu and Tanjiro arrive at the large house in the woods. Tanjiro smells the unfamiliar scent, and Zenitsu hears a strange sound. There are 2 kids nearby, frozen with fear. Now, real quick, before we continue with that story, I'm just saying, like, poor Zenitsu, bro. He just got swindled. It's simple as that. But he got to blame himself, bro. Alright, it says here, the 2 kids tell them about the monster who has taken their brother inside that house. And they track the monster here. Tanjiro assures them that he and Zenitsu will rescue their brother and defeat the monster. Zenitsu asks about the non-stop sound of the Tsuzusami strike. Once the rest finally hear the noise that Zenitsu was hearing, a bloody body is thrown out of the house and it lands in front of them. The body is not that of the children's brother. Tanjiro leaves his box with the 2 kids for protection, although Zenitsu refused to enter the house at first. He forces himself to join Tanjiro once inside. I told you, man, that guy was a tough battle. Again, 5th round, it all comes down to whose resolve is stronger, and I'm glad I came out on top with the W. Let's see who our next opponent is going to be. Ah, he left. I was going to give him the rematch. Let me see here. It says, once inside, Tanjiro tells Zenitsu about his broken bones that haven't healed fully yet, which scares Zenitsu even more since he can't rely too much on Tanjiro for protection. The 2 kids are frightened, and by scratching coming from the box and comes inside the house after Zenitsu and Tanjiro, the house begins to rumble. And Tanjiro and Turoko are teleported to a random room in the house, while Zenitsu is left with Soichi. While searching for the exit, Zenitsu and Soichi find Inosuke, who runs past them. And Zenitsu is using Thunderclap and Flash Tongue Demon. Right, this is when he starts getting into battle. Okay, so a scared Zenitsu and Soichi wander through the house when a demon sneaks up on them. A demon corners the 2 of them in a room, and Zenitsu immediately passes out in fear. Like, he just goes. As the demon tries to strike them, Zenitsu cuts his tongue off. Because remember, this is where Zenitsu is most powerful when he's unconscious, right? So it goes here. Zenitsu cuts his tongue off. While unconscious, Zenitsu quickly defeats the demon. Zenitsu wakes up with no recollection of his action and thanks Shinochi for defeating the demon. Oh my god, that part was so fucking funny, man. There's this kid like amazed by Zenitsu's skills. And then when this retard wakes up, he's thanking him as he's the one who killed the demon and asking the kid for protection. Oh my god, bro, I was fucking dying. Oh man, this show has it all, man. It has comedy, action, and the animation is freaking the best right now. It really is. Alright, so it says here, Zenitsu wakes up with no recollection on his actions and thanks Shinochi for defeating the demon. Zenitsu and Shinochi enter another room and the room rotates, throwing them out of the window. Once outside, they see Inosuke run out of the house. Inosuke attempts to attack Nezuko, who is inside the box. Zenitsu protects Nezuko. Zenitsu protects Nezuko box from Inosuke. Zenitsu explained his great hearing and that he can hear a living thing breathing, and he hears her heartbeat and their blood circulation. Zenitsu knew that Tanjiro was traveling with a demon and tells Inosuke to back off, as he is going to ask Tanjiro himself. Why is he traveling with a demon? Inosuke continuously attacks Zenitsu in an attempt to kill Nezuko. Tanjiro attacks Inosuke to stop him, and the two begin to fight. Inosuke passes out from Tanjiro's headbutt, and after burying the dead they found inside the house, a crow sends the three demon slayers to a house for them to rest in. So, yeah, basically after they defeat the monsters in the mansion, Inosuke goes outside and feels like, yo, something's up with that box, and he attacks Zenitsu. And then Zenitsu gets all beat up, protecting the box, not knowing what's inside. And then Tanjiro comes out and, stops him. But let's get back into the story. It says, since the three demon slayers to a house where they could rest in, the elderly lady attends to their wounds while they are there. Is their first time meeting Nezuko and becomes smitten by her. Oh man, of course Zenitsu falls in love with her right off the bat. Now going to Mount Nagumu Art, Zenitsu and Tanjiro and Inosuke head to the mountain for their next mission. They reach their destination at night. They meet up with the demon slayer on the ground, who begs them for help as he is being pulled into the forest by spider threads. Out of fear, Zenitsu refused to go into the forest. Tanjiro and Inosuke proceed without him. Zenitsu contemplates about not joining his friends. Zenitsu then realizes that Tanjiro took Nezuko along with him, and he runs in after them to protect Nezuko. So, to be honest, this guy would have just literally stood outside the forest, but he remembered that Nezuko's in the box. He's like, shit. And you know what? I would like to see them two being shipped together, Nezuko and Zenitsu. I would like that. I guess once they get older, whatever, I would like to see those two being shipped together. I think they would make a good couple. But yeah, man, this motherfucker only goes back because she's in the box and he's afraid that they're gonna kill Tanjiro and then her because she got stuck going alongside him. Oh man, that's crazy. So, Zenitsu unleashes thunder-breathing first form, Thunderclap and Flash, sixfold, while running through the forest. Zenitsu sees a human head with a spider body. Zenitsu runs away only to stumble across the demon responsible for turning these humans into spider slaves. Zenitsu is bit by a spider, and not only 30 minutes before he also turns into a spider, Zenitsu faints from fear and begins to fight while unconscious. Zenitsu, who has flashback of his teacher, who encourages him and never abandons him, and his senior disciple, who always looked down on him. Zenitsu is only able to do this first form, but if he honed his technique to its perfection, defeating the demon with the thunder-breathing first form, Thunderclap and Flash, sixfold, Shinobu saves Zenitsu from the poison. So they just skipped a whole bunch of crap. So he uses his Thunderclap, his thunder breathing, to defeat the spider who was turning all the other humans into spider. That's what he meant to say. And then after, you know, being poisoned himself, he's on the verge of death when Shinobu saves Zenitsu from the poison and basically saves his lives. So yeah. Alright, so let's go into now the, let me see. Ooh, did I get him with the special? Yup. Oh, it's over. Especially you see when those finish cut. So that's Gramps right there. And it's over. Whoosh.
That's enough. We have a winner.
It was a good fight, man. I'm telling you. That's why you can't just rage quit and give up. You have to go all the way. Even if it's 2-0, like, yo, find the energy to keep playing and you'll make your comeback, man. It might take you the first 2 losses to learn your opponent's moves, his moveset, or the way how he fights. So my advice to you guys, don't quit, man. See, I like this guy. This guy has what, 13 wins, 0 disconnects. That's good. This is gonna be a good fight, man. Alright, so let's get into the rehabilitation training arc. So he complains to Kaijo Todoroki about the medicine that he has to take. Tanjiro and Goto and Aoi Kazaki arrive with the later scolding Zenitsu for his constantly complaining. That is true, bro. My man is always fucking complaining. Like, Tanjiro and Zenitsu reunite, the scared youth asking his friend if he is alright, and Zenitsu responds by bitterly complaining about everything he has been through since the Mount Natagumu incident. Tanjiro asks Zenitsu about Inosuke and Murata, and the towel-headed youth tells him that Inosuke is right next to him, and Tanjiro asks Inosuke to forgive him about not coming back to help him. But he is told not to worry about it. Dumbfounded by Inosuke's indifference surrounding voice, Tanjiro told by Zenitsu about their friend's condition badly injuring his throat. So that fight, where they were fighting, I think the Spider Father, they got separated. And that's what Tanjiro is talking about. Like, yo, I didn't come back in time because then he had to fight the other main bad guy. So he couldn't be in 2 places at once. So that's why he was asking him to forgive him. Those fights were great, by the way. So, it says here, after the rundown of Tanjiro and Zenitsu and Inosuke and Nezuko representative respective condition, the 4 comrades take as much deserved rest. They are later visited by Murata, who explains what happened to him when he was summoned to the Hashirama meeting, and Shinobu, who tells them that their rehabilitation training was about to begin. Zenitsu muses over his medical treatment and condition in order for other people to turn into spiders, and then he thinks about Shinobu and her treatment of these individuals. Now it says here, nothing that her sound of irregular or somewhat unsettling. He goes on to note that Tanjiro and Inosuke have been taken by her to undergo rehabilitation training and had not come back extremely exhausted and that dragged. It says here, causing him to despair as he is to join them training the next day. And the next day, Zenitsu joins his friends at the training where Aoi Kazaki explains that there are the 3 parts to her training, and a message to loosen up their body, reflex training with Kano involving medicated bath inside teacups, and the whole body training, which is insanely tagged with Kano and herself. So yeah, that was the rehabilitation training. Yeah, they needed that because that is going to take their breathing techniques to a whole nother level and their speed. And Tanjiro was the first one to achieve those, and that made Inosuke and Zenitsu want to catch up to him once they saw his level of training progress going further. You know, jealousy made him want to be as strong as he was. So I remember that. So it says here, in irate, Zenitsu takes his friends aside and talks to them, annoyed that he had been fooling around with the girls but had to come back to the room looking some miserable. Because obviously they were flirting back with him, I guess. A confused Tanjiro asks his towel-headed friend what is in the world is he talking about, but the maddened youth tells him to shut up and explained that his training involves a lot of physical contact, with essentially translate into being touched by the girls on a frequent basis, something he seems as a pure bliss. Inosuke, also irritated at this point, says that Zenitsu doesn't know what is he talking about, stating that he will die inside when he loses to someone with a smaller body, only to modify his friend. Oh my god, this guy is so retarded. So basically, look at that. Even though he finds something so enjoyable, he still finds a way to complain about it. He's complaining to both of them about being in a room with a whole bunch of females. And then Zenosuke is right. If you fight a demon woman, you're gonna fall for all her tricks and die. But the match is over. Didn't have enough time to finish his story, but guys, thank you. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you guys on the next one.
What happened to me?
Don't forget to subscribe!